We are so excited. Hey, girls. Oh my gosh. I lost my voice at the prayer meeting last night, not at the white party. Did anybody have a good time last night? Did anybody have too good of a time last night? No such thing, and it works. What's up? How are you? This is my best side. I'm good. I'm so good. You guys, I gotta tell you this. Oh, this is slickery. My gosh. So here's the honest truth. We were backstage. Mark comes up and he's like, "You guys are gonna do amazing. Go out, get them hype," and then made all of us cry. So, yeah, so it's fine. So we're sorry for a little bit of an emotional mess, but here's the honest truth. Never have I ever been given the honor of a panel quite like this, and I am so flipping excited because, you know, sometimes you get given a panel and you get put on that panel because you're an expert at it. You get put on that panel because it's like, hey, you can lead this, you can share this great info. And we all got put on a panel. Excuse me, again, it was a lot of prayer meeting last night and having a hard time clearing my throat. And so we got put on this panel, and we're literally kind of in the middle of walking through it. So y'all are gonna hear the journey, not the expertise. Does that make any sense? So that's a little scary. That's a little scary. I prefer to be an expert at something, but we're gonna just talk through what we feel like is a big elephant in the room, which is feelings of unworthiness, feelings of the one-hit wonder syndrome, like a little Chumbawamba, y'all know what I'm talking about? Anybody else? I get knocked down, but I get up again. Yeah, like that, or Vanilla Ice. Thanks for the lights for the crowd. That always helps me. I appreciate it. And so we're gonna go through some of that and just talk through what God's shown us, what He's been teaching us, what He's in the process of showing us. And so I could not be more honored and excited to share the stage with these two ladies. We have had more fun going through this, crying together, laughing together, and so y'all just kick it off. How about your quick 30-second because of it works?
Hey guys, my name is Jade Hooper. Woo! I started this business when I was, it was 2013. I'm 30 now, guys. I'm 30. I was a hairstylist, mom of one. I grew up broke. My mom had me when she was 18, and we always struggled. That's all I ever knew. And when I didn't expect to be a mom ever until I met my husband, and he's so amazing. We had our first child, and you guys, it was just bad. I found myself hanging up sheets in my living room to keep our heat in. I was washing our clothes in my bathtub, making homemade laundry soap. Things were bad, and I said, I can't spend the rest of my life fighting with the husband that I didn't think I would ever have. And I can't spend the rest of my life watching my son go through the things that I had to do growing up to survive. And so I started this business. Within 5 months, I became a diamond, and within a year and a half, I was a top 10 money earner. So I don't want to hear for anybody here, don't tell me you can't do this. You are not your circumstances.
And what about you gorgeous blonde down here? She pretty much like had her baby in the green room. Like her baby's like 14 seconds old or something, and she's just like, "Do I look okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you look better than most of us." Our kids are 8 and 11. Like, for the love.
Okay, my name is Carrie Young, and I had a baby 2 weeks ago. We went from living in my parents' basement to building our dream home twice. We moved to Florida this year from South Dakota, so we don't have to live in the snow. And because of it works, I'm living my best life.
I love it. And my name's Ashley. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. I started this business. Yes. So all the people live in Lubbock, and I started this business 8 years ago because a friend sent me a message on Facebook and told me I needed to try these fat patches, and that there were ladies up north making 5 figures a month. And I was like, well, if they can do it, this girl from the South can do it. And so 7 months later, I went ambassador, and I have been on the ride of my life since with my incredible family and my incredible precious that's out there probably holding up the camera. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. So, Jade, when we spoke, let's just jump right in because Jade, when we spoke, you told me that you really experienced a lot of feelings of unworthiness kind of from the way you've grown up. And so how did you overcome that? How did you work through that?
So if you guys, how many of you guys have been through things in life that were just, anytime something good would happen to you, something bad would just come and just wipe you right off your butt? It would just be taken away right away, yeah. That's how I grew up. And so I had massive success in my business extremely fast. I just ran, I did the things. And then all of a sudden, when I hit this level of success and was marking everything off on my dream board, all of a sudden I stopped. And it was that voice in my head saying, you don't deserve this. I had a miscarriage. I started having more babies. I started gaining weight. I started getting older. I started comparing myself to other people. And I felt like I was drowning. I had close family and friends who always had supported me. But all of a sudden, when you start to see your head above the clouds a little bit and you start to have a different perspective on life of what's available to you, they were saying, isn't that a little much? Isn't that a little greedy? You want to make $100,000 a month? Like, who does that? Where's your limit? And so truly what I had to do is I had to remove the limiting beliefs of the people that are around me, because your limiting beliefs aren't yours. They're the limiting beliefs of the people who raised you, of the people who are around you. And so I had to work really, really hard for years I remember calling Pam saying, hey, Pam, please tell me I'm not doing something wrong. Please tell me I'm not training my team wrong. I have a presence. I train people. I don't know if you guys have seen my YouTube before. And I had to ask her permission many times that what I was doing was okay, because I was just so fearful that I couldn't do it again. And I had to remove the limiting beliefs that I was worth it, that I could do it.
Absolutely. Have any of you ever struggled with that? Sometimes it's not even the voice in your own head, it's the voice of the other people around you asking, who are you to want this, you know? Carrie, we talked, and for you it was less about feeling worthy and more about focusing on this big goal in front of you and wondering, how the heck am I gonna do this?
So I had to start asking myself different questions, because I got so focused on, like, does anybody have like a really big goal and you're like, well, how? Like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna sign all these distributors? And so I just started asking different questions. Like, I remember going to an event and I saw this lady on stage and she was making so much money, and I was like, well, if she's shy and can do this, why not me? And so when I switched from how can I to why not, and that changed everything.
You guys, I hope that you have a pen and a paper and that you are writing that down. Stop asking how, start asking why not me. That change and question, of course I don't have pen and paper, everybody's got a phone up, but y'all know what I'm saying, right? You need to be asking a completely different question. It is going to change your business whenever you do. I love that, Carrie, so much. Okay, so Jade, let's talk about the one-hit wonder syndrome, right? How did you kind of overcome that feeling of, okay, I had this massive success, now how am I going to do it again?
Okay, so like I was saying, you guys, started with one child and now I have three. And I never ever thought in my life that I would have 3 kids ever. And so I was like, how do I get to ambassador again? I have more kids, less time, more stuff. My marriage wasn't good, and that wasn't because of it works. It was because of the skeletons in my closet, the baggage from when I was growing up, what I was taught. And so there was a lot of stuff that I had to fix. There was a lot of alignment with my business and my marriage that I really had to fix. But what I had to realize, you guys, you're not, for all of you guys who feel stuck, you're not doing it again. You are doing it still. We are always just moving forward. We are always building this business. Melanie McFarland has been in this, I don't know where she's at, but she's excited. She's been building this business for like 1 million years, and she's still excited, and she's still, I don't know where she's, my girl, and she's still bringing people in, and she's still excited. You guys, this is not a new mountain to climb. I kept saying, I wish I could just be who I was back then. I was so fiery and amazing and awesome and just doing all the things. The cat hair was flying and I didn't care. It was because, and my periscopes, I don't even know if you guys know what that is. But when I had to realize, how many of you guys have said, how do I do this again? How do I climb this new mountain? It's a new mountain. It's not a new mountain. It's the same dang mountain. You hit a summit And everybody quits at the summit because they think it's a new mountain and you think you're gonna have to stop again. You just gather yourself, you learn along the way, you pull your big girl panties up, and you just keep going up the mountain again. You just keep going. You have not made it. You have not made it at Ruby. We have not made it at Ambassador. You have not made it at Black Diamond. They'll come out with like quadruple Black Diamond, Pam. I'm sure she's ready for that. You know what I mean? So you just keep going. It's the same mountain.
I loved that so much. That was a big aha moment for me because I know a lot of times I get really exhausted thinking about the fact that, okay, I've accomplished this and now I have this new mountain. And she goes, oh my gosh, it's not a new mountain, it's the exact same mountain. You just hit a different level on it. Now, one of the things we talked about that's really hard is that not everybody can go with us from summit to summit. The higher that we go up this mountain, the fewer people are willing to go with us. You guys ever watch those Everest? Why am I talking like I'm a mountain climber? I am not. I live on the flat plains of Lubbock, Texas in a cotton field. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. Follow me if you will. I also do a lot of running analogies. I don't run, but just follow me. So all of those like mountain climbing documentaries, and I love watching things like that, or like Everest and those shows. It always starts out with a whole bunch of people. By the time you get up to the top, there's way less people that are up there at the top, right? And so some of you need to realize that for you to climb up to that next summit, there are people that are going to not go with you, right?
Okay, they always say the higher the success, the smaller your circle gets. And I don't want you to fear this, okay? It's not like that. It's the higher success you have, the crazier you have to think, and the higher the level that you have to believe. And there will be people who believed you all the way. There'll be people who believed in you at, oh, you can do $10,000, like sure, whatever. But I remember when I wrote down that I wanted to make $106,000 a month, and they looked at me and they said, when is enough? I said, never. It's never enough. Because me, I started this business for myself. But when I realized that I wasn't alone and that there are like thousands of Jades in the world, and that all I gotta do is find them and help them make that $200 a month too. And because I said yes in the last almost 7 years, 100,000 people said yes. So if I stop now at this summit, I'm cutting off the lifeline to the next 100,000 people. So I have to keep on going. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the circle getting smaller, because you guys, there are so many leaders here that want you here and love you so much. We don't even know you, we don't know your stories, but we probably are your story. And we just want to be there with you. So don't be afraid. It won't be lonely, it'll be scary, but it won't be lonely.
So good, that's so good, Jade. Yes, please. The energy's a little low. There it is. That was amazing.
Come on guys, it's Saturday morning bonus day, maybe. Let's get a little louder in here.
She goes, bonus day maybe.
Bonus day,
Don't
maybe.
know.
Mark, I don't know.
Don't know anything. We don't know anything. All right, Carrie, hang on. I'm going to recalibrate us. Here we are. Okay, Carrie, how have you overcome those feelings of, can I do it again?
Okay, so the quote or actually I heard this from somebody and it changed my business. We are never rebuilding, we are always building.
Say it again for the people in the back.
We are never rebuilding, we are always building. So I think as soon as you stop putting people in the system, or you stop, so when you're at the summit and you stop, well then you stop putting people in, and that's why you're stuck, right? So you have to continue to build.
Can we be real quick? We were in Costa Rica and her and I were back because I have anxiety and she was pregnant. We didn't want to ride wild, whatever they were going to put us on in Costa Rica. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this again. You're just mean. I'm like, I don't know how to go to Ambassador again. And she goes, I just keep putting people in. So there's your answer.
It is that new blood. Don't we always say that? People are like, I feel stuck. Ashley, what book do you read to get unstuck? I'm like, I don't have a book. I just signed up a DT. New blood. New blood in this. Why am I saying new blood? I'm not a vampire, but just that. New blood. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? But that new blood, you guys, that is, the action is the answer to feeling stuck, right? You get so hung up on thinking you're missing the latest book or you're missing this one YouTube video. Like, you're not missing anything. It's already in here. You just have to go and live it out in action. So, all right, you guys, 60 seconds. We did this, maybe 30 seconds. What advice would you give someone who is looking at a huge goal and it feels super far away, Carrie?
Okay, so number one, you need to decide. Because as soon as you decide, you made the decision, you can start taking the action. And the second one is make sure you have empty space on your chart. So get real. If you're a diamond and you're charted diamond, but it's not a real diamond, then you need to erase. But if it is, get out your next chart, because when you have empty space, you fill it.
Amen, that's so good. Jade, what about you, real quick?
I have a couple different things. Number one, I want you guys to say, I will not wait no more. Say it. I will not wait no more. The babies will not sleep, and that is okay. You don't need your husband to support you. You do not need your grandparents to support you. You do not need your cactus in your house that's dying to support you. You do not need your friends to support you. You just have to walk in the fire. I promise you, God will make you fireproof. You do not even know. And when you are running, so I gotta skip. When you are running, you gotta be able to hear me. When you are running so fast, you can't hear the people who are saying that you can't do it, and you can't even hear yourself. Run faster. You will hear nothing but the wind in your ears and the success in your eyes. I promise you.
So good. I love it. Yes. So, you guys, I shared at the beginning that I am kind of in the middle of walking. I'm in the middle of walking through this. That I went to Tony Robbins in July, and one of the things he has you do, yes, and one of the things he has you do is write down your, like, just the lies that you believed. And it's a very impactful exercise to go through. And one of the things that I wrote down that I know is not true, and it's even hard to say, but I know a lot of people hear it, and so it's why God wants me to share it, is that my best days are behind me. And the success that dang it. Darcy. I think Blake put onions on my mic before I started, but that my best days are behind me, and even as I say it, it's not right, and I know it's not right, and I know some of you are thinking it. Some of you hit Ruby really fast, or you hit Diamond, or you hit Ambassador really fast, and then you start questioning, you start wondering, can I even do it again? How did I even do it? Like Carrie said, I don't even know how I did it. And is that the best it's ever gonna be? Like, were those checks the best I'm ever gonna have in VIP? I especially want to talk to you and they're flashing red and I see it. Give me 1 second. A friend shared with me the most impactful illustration for this that has helped me so much, and I want to share it with you. And so, are you good? Can we all just like stand up together real quick? Just kind of get the energy going too, but she shared the most impactful story with me. So how many of you have seen Chronicles of Narnia? Okay, good. So you know what I'm talking about. So Jade goes, or are you going to share the Mufasa thing? I was like, yeah, that would be Aslan, but that's okay.
Wrong one.
Different lion. And in the book, he's with them. He's with the kids the entire time at the beginning. And he's fighting that battle with them, right? He's right there the entire time, right alongside them. And then in the second book, what happens? He's not there. He's not there with them fighting that battle the whole way through. And Lucy has this dream in the forest, and Aslan comes to her in this dream, and she says, oh, there you are. Where were you? Why weren't you there? You weren't there fighting with us. Where were you? You didn't fight the same way. And Aslan looks at her and he says, oh, dear Lucy, things never happen the same way twice. And it was this moment when it was shared with me that I realized I was so busy doing this and looking behind me at what God had done that I was not looking in front to see what God wants to do. And then guys, I implore you, you. I have been praying so hard for you. I've been praying so hard for my team. Like, dear Cheyenne, dear Alicia, dear Jamie, dear Rachel, like, things don't happen the same way twice. They don't happen the same way twice. So let's look ahead at what God wants to do and stop focusing on what's been done, because that's in the past, all right? We're out of time. Thank you guys. So y'all are amazing. Y'all are amazing. Thank you guys.
You guys can do this.
I appreciate you.
You can do it.